special World Series edition of the drop. So I'm Ruben Dominguez. That is Quinn Bishop, and we've got lots of new music to talk about. Let's jump right in, man. What do we have?
We do. Well, you know, we're going to kick it off. One of our favorite Houston acts. We keep it Houston today for Astros World Series thing. So, Crumby, you remember all these EPs we've been talking about, and they would secretly drop them. Of course, we got a bunch of them because it's Houston and they look after us.
Right.
All of those mixes are now packaged on a single LP or CD.
Wow.
A double. But you get all these. It's Mordecai's remixes, so their best-selling record now available in alternate versions. Cool remixes. I think this is going to be a fun record to have the holidays party record, chill record. Good times.
And I know a lot of the other ones were kind of limited. To a certain
and those are still
units.
Really valuable. And
So
real money.
All of their stuff
pressed in very limited editions. Most stores only got 1 or 2 copies. So but you know, they want the music to be out there, and now it is. And now you can pick this up.
I love it.
And listen to it all in one.
Such a good band.
Without having to change records.
Love it.
Okay, next up, the return of Duran Duran. Wow, the Duran Ran. Did you see the video with all the lookalikes?
I did not.
It's clever. It's clever.
But apparently, this is charting really. This is their highest charting album in the UK since 1983, I think, or something.
Oh, really?
I was listening to Sirius, but
well, I've talked to a few hardcore fans that really think that this is on the mark and a great record time. So that's good. You know, if you only make a record every 6 or 7 years, it ought to be
good. I'm glad for those guys. I mean, they're
Yeah, they're cool. Indie store exclusive colored vinyl on this. It is transparent and red.
Duran.
Come on. Okay, I love to talk about this band. Are you familiar with this band, La Luz?
No.
They're a California all-girl surf chill band. They're great, kind of garagey, kind of.
I think I saw a video.
They were people knew about them because they after their first or second record, they were involved in a horrible accident. One of the band, they all got hurt and were sidelined for a while, but super cool music.
Yeah,
people should check them out. Super fun, cool harmonies as well.
If Quinn's excited about it, buy it.
Yeah, and you know what? These 2 records I've put back to back because this is just awesome music that if you haven't heard it, Chicano Batman, one of the coolest band names
for sure.
In recent years, and this band is fantastic. You know, it's funk, it's psychedelic, it's like Tropicalia, harking back to that, Brazilian music. This is a party band. This is a reissue of their 2014 second album, again on a colored vinyl. This was a record store day piece a couple of years ago, so it's good that this is available to everyone.
Love that.
Yeah, fun stuff.
It's a good one.
All right, we're gonna go dark on you
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Yes.
So this guy makes quite a few records, but he always has outtakes and B-sides and stuff. This is what I call a house cleaning record where all that music, it was available as a CD some years ago, never on vinyl. There's a big super deluxe box of this, but this is, 25 songs or something, or 30 songs of outtakes.
B-sides and rarities. And hey, if you're missing black vinyl, you're like, hey, there's just too many colored, and this is on good old black vinyl.
None more black.
Yeah. So
more black
if the Metallica Black Album was not your thing, this is probably your shade of black. All right, I love it.
All right,
there you go.
Next up, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yes, sir.
They've been doing a deluxe reissue series where they package all the outtakes, the original album, and an alternate mix of the album together. This is the Replacement's debut LP. Sorry, Ma, forgot to take out the trash. Who can't identify with that? Man, there's 150 songs on here or something like that. Outtakes, different versions, all that.
The Mats.
Super great. And there's an LP and CDs in there.
So I saw them play a show at Power Tools. I don't know if you remember Power Tools.
Oh, I saw that show. Yeah.
The only problem is we got there late, and there was no way we could make our way to the stage, and the stage is only about that much higher.
Right, yeah.
So all I could see was a couple of the tops, hair on the stage. I could not see them at all.
That venue was low ceiling. It was always too loud in there.
Smelled terrible.
You couldn't see it. I think it flooded out every time.
Every time the bayou went. It smelled terrible. Yeah, I met Carl Lewis there one night.
Did you really?
That's another story.
All right, we're gonna get I think I went out of order, which I swore that I wasn't going to do. Japanese Breakfast, who we've talked about numerous times on this call. You know, soundtracks to video games have become very hot in recent years. And Japanese Breakfast, whose music is kind of ambient leaning, and she did the soundtrack for this video game Sable, of course, which I'm oblivious to because I'm not a gamer
And
in any way.
I dabble, but I don't know it.
Well, so I guess this is anticipated video game release, and she did the music for it, and it should be. All the reviews say this is standalone. If you love this artist, it's standalone. You can listen to it. The music stands on its own.
Wow.
You don't have to be a fan of the game to really.
Good to know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this game. Okay.
And
moving forward.
Yep. Now we're getting a little heavier. We have Spirit Box. You familiar with these guys?
Getting a lot of play right
Getting
now.
a ton of press.
Yeah.
I mean,
these guys are hot right now.
So it's the dudes from I Wrestled a Bear Once, and so it's a metal duo with other players on it, but it's getting great reviews, and fans are really, really responding to it. I mean, prior to a record release, we know something's hot, but people are letting us know about it.
Yeah.
This is one of those records. Available on Blue Eternal vinyl.
I think, is this like their second release?
It might be. I know that there's been other music digital.
I started hearing about them right before COVID, if I remember correctly. And I remember hearing one or two songs. Flippin' Serious Liquid Metal played some of it.
Wow. Liquid
Metal, baby.
Right.
All right. This looks cool.
Another, huge band these days. This is their breakthrough record, 21 Pilots, Glory Face. In celebration of Fueled by Ramen's 25th anniversary, they put this out on a silver LP.
Very cool.
Yeah, people love them.
Yeah,
people
these guys have sold a ton of albums. Cool.
And as you know, it is Rocktober.
It is Rocktober.
It is Rocktober. So we have two soundtracks that are in keeping with Rocktober.
Fit perfectly.
And, we love these guys. The Stooges, the soundtrack to Give Me Danger, the Stooges documentary, some unreleased and classic tunes from them on that. And that's on a colored vinyl, too. I can't remember what it is, but I don't even know that that's been available before on LP.
All right, you might throw me out of the store immediately, and I wouldn't blame you right now, but I don't own any Stooges.
Well,
I should own some
that
Stooges,
can be,
and I always
that can be
remedied easily. Get your
easy.
credit card out. We'll take care of this. All right.
And then this is a big movie when we were kids, right? The heavy metal soundtrack, which pulled together, Black Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult, Devo, and even like the Steely Dan guys.
It was so weird.
It was so weird.
But it was kind of like in chapters, right?
Right.
There was different.
And then
it was
they
like
tied
a
it all
bunch of
together
these animated vignettes, right? And of course, the big song was Mob Rules, Sabbath.
I don't know how I haven't seen it in 25 years.
Which was the second, also the title of the second album, right, with Ronnie James Dio that Sabbath did.
At that preview that came out ahead of the album.
And I did see that tour. Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick. Oh, I don't remember the Cheap Trick song.
Oh, it's great.
I remember the time.
It's kind of weird and keyboard heavy, but it's only.
I need to listen to this again.
Yeah,
because
music holds up well.
The movie not so much.
Movie, it's its own thing, right? Yeah. We're gonna hear about that, by the way.
I have this.
Super Deluxe reissue 2 LP set. Alabama Shakes. Sound and Color. This is a terrific album, and they've used up. The running time on this is kind of built for the CD. So there's a fourth side that I think was an etching on the previous edition, but they filled it out with these Capitol Studio A sessions, which we've covered on the show before. So it's them live in the studio in the building that looks like a stack of records.
Right.
And man, I love this band.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
I can
band.
highly recommend it. Even if you don't know what an Alabama Shake is,
we got it.
Go get it, because man, God, I was listening to it the other day. Had it on the turntable the other day.
Awesome. We've got a few CDs that are going to come out on LP editions later, but we're going to kick up. This is a Texas record here. Two of our favorite guys, Billy Joe
Kinky.
Shaver and Kinky Friedman, who have been at our store many, many times. Kinky persuaded, arm twisted the staff into drinking whiskey with him.
Quite a
He
character.
hung out here all day long.
Quite a character.
Store.
Yep,
this
we've
is
had
from
him
a
on the
show. Oh yeah, a little bit nutty.
Yeah.
This is a 2002 performance from Australia. This was sold independently before, now has a national distribution. We sold a bunch of this as an indie. It's a very cool show. Those two guys together,
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
You need a new Texas music country
Yep.
record there. That's it for you. This guy's made a record or two. Joe Bonamassa.
Yep.
You know, modern guitar hero. It's
This is
his
the
latest.
new one.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be the one.
I think that's the press release for all of them, correct?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's done a great job.
I think this one's a straight ahead rocker. You know, he's done funk records, blues records, everything. It's like classical.
Yeah, this is the one produced by Kevin Shirley. We talked about it last week. I heard the interview with Kevin Shirley. He said it's his Dark Side of the Moon.
Well, all right. Get down to the bed, so.
Come on,
Bonamassa.
Come on.
All right. Let's rock on down the highway. There's a new Dooley Brothers record.
Not expecting this.
I know.
So from left field.
You know what? I mean, you have all these heritage bands that stay on the road, play 200 shows a year.
Right.
And, you know, I think releasing a new record, you know, makes them more newsworthy.
Sure. And for the fans that are going to come see them anyway,
yeah,
it's good to have a little something for them.
Yeah, and they're cool, and they can still sing and play very well, so it should be good.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so throwing this in there, so look how shiny this is.
OMD.
OMD. Now, if for our viewers aren't familiar with them, they're one of the big Brit synth pop bands of the '80s, and their record Architecture and Morality is their big record. Like their 5-star all music. Everybody acknowledges it's a classic.
Right.
And 3 big singles from that: Souvenir, Joan of Arc, Maid of Orleans. They have expanded those to include alternate versions of those 3 tracks, as well as stuff that was on the 12-inch singles that hasn't been available in years, in this really shiny package, and it is cool.
Super cool.
And for people that are, Houston, synth pop was so huge. 104 KRBE back in the day was such a big, iconic station. If you live in Houston, you probably have an inkling that's maybe your thing. This is a record to check out.
That's the one. All right, there you go.
Next up, Ty Seagal. Garagey psychedelic guy. I love this cover, right?
So super cool. Super good cover.
Yeah, it's
he's one of those guys that a lot of people kind of name check and love a lot. Yeah. I just didn't get on the train.
Well, it's very indie rocky, but it's garage and psychedelic. Sonically, I like it. I don't hear a lot of songs there, but again, I'm sure we'll hear about that.
Right.
But he's cool, and he's got his hand in a bunch of people's records. He's a producer as well. Makes a lot of records.
Cool.
But he's great.
Prolific. We used that word
before. There's a new Spiritualized reissues for their Let It Come Down record. This is a great record, available on limited edition colored vinyl. Their records are finally coming back out. They've been unavailable for years. So should you love that really loud droning band like we do? That's a good place to go.
Yeah, those are good.
All right, we got one of your favorite guys. I mean, you mentioned this record like when it was available digital only.
Right.
And now it's on CD. Pat Metheny, Side Eye.
Yeah.
In NYC. Love the graphics on this. I mean, just one of the most important jazz guitar players.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely.
His ECM recordings are iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think his first studio album, he was like 16, 17.
Yeah, he was a young player.
He was a beast.
Okay, we're going to finish it up with the little band everybody's heard of. There is a super deluxe reissue of Pink Floyd, Momentary Lapse of Reason, their first record without Roger Waters, and it's
started the Dave Gilmour era. I think still a fine record. People argue the merits of it, but they remixed it and updated it to sound, I guess. What was that for this? Division Bell,
which I think is actually.
And which was the tour when they came, and it was this, right? The Astrodome show, right?
Astrodome show.
Yeah,
for that record.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I never got to see Pink Floyd with Roger Waters. Sure. So that was like the first Pink Floyd live show that I saw. I think they covered a lot of the bases.
Yeah, man.
They covered a lot of the hits. I was not disappointed.
And the sound was incredible. Guitar.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
I mean, there's also a deluxe that has, in a box that has CD, DVD, audio. Remixes as well as material that didn't appear on the record. So now we can talk about.
Sure. So Quinn and I were talking, and I said, "Hey, so I'm leaving. I'm headed to Atlanta for the World Series, which I'm heading tomorrow, covering the Astros." And I said I wanted to really do something to talk about the music scenes, comparing Houston's hip hop scene and Atlanta's hip hop scene. And Quinn said, "We got to talk about this." That's what's happening now. That's what you're about to see.
Versus versus Atlanta,
right?
From a hip hop perspective.
From a hip hop perspective, yeah.
And we picked. I picked 2 records.
Some of the big hitters.
2 big. And let's go old school first.
Right.
And Outkast, which we feature in the show. This record's just back up, but
ATL, Big Boy,
tons
Andre.
of hits. You hear these tracks from what's the big double record? I'm spacing out on the name. Stankonia, and
the Love. It was the Love Below, right? Which was Big Boy did an album, and then Andre did an album, and they came out together, but it was they weren't together on the songs.
Party music.
It was like two solo records, but under their. Yeah,
and
I don't know if we described that the right way.
Yeah, well, we were working hard there.
But that was a much bigger release for Andre, I think, than it was for Big Boy. Andre had all the hits. Andre had all the hits on that.
So that's the ATL old school hip hop. Well, Houston. There's only one way to answer that. The UGK Houston Tech. That's actually their first release, 12-inch, which we have a limited edition vinyl. But some of those titles you can't say on.
No, I'm not even going to flip this around. But this is a banger if you're from H-Town.
Their whole catalog really is, you know. And I'm going to call it on that. I'm just going to say I'm not going to run into Andre, but I might run in.
Sure. Right.
So I'm just going to say. I'm just going to say UGK wins that.
Okay, UGK wins.
UGK wins.
We're being total homers.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that.
All right. Let's modern era,
current
record making. You get a little Yachty from ATL, and that is just a creepy, kooky cover. They've got a lot of Lils in Atlanta. I don't know if you've noticed this trend,
but that's fine because it's all good.
You got babies, you got Bodies, Yachties,
everything,
whatever.
Everything.
Good music coming out of Atlanta anyway. In kind of much like Houston, modern era is true to what it was back in the day. They really make great records coming out of that city. And,
big record.
Houston, Texas, we have to talk about
enormous record.
This one, super enormous, still enormous record.
Still an enormous record. It's become a lifestyle.
Yeah. Totally.
It's
the festival. It's the apparel. It's the
and you guys had the big was outside.
We had the big
cactus
head outside the store.
Yeah, and I remember driving by and I was like, "What?" Oh, okay.
It was
of course it makes sense.
People were flipping out. People were showing
up. Had to come take pictures in front. Yeah,
like, where is it?
Yeah,
where is it?
Well, it's not actually ours.
Yeah. We were loaned it. It was great to have it here. Brought a bunch of people to the store, and it was a cool way to launch that record.
That's fantastic.
So that's what we got. That is the best of Atlanta and the best of Houston.
We've covered a lot of stuff today. Let's see what else we did. We talk a little Astros. Can we talk a little sports? So I think a lot of people got down on what happened yesterday on taking the loss, game 1 here at home.
Wasn't the best,
but before we were on the break. On the drop, Quinn was pointing out, these two teams they don't know each other almost at all. Did they play once to the regular season?
I think this cycle, I don't think they did this year. I think the cycle is about 3 years, like rotational
play
and interleague play.
Right.
And, that's the beauty of National League versus American League. It's like, you don't know who these guys are until you get on the field with them and figure out what they're doing.
So they definitely got the drop on us.
They got the drop on us. First batter.
Yes. First swing of the was a rocket into the stands, but that's all right, man. I think if we've learned anything from our Astros, it's like they tend to grind these things out.
Yeah, they do.
It ain't pretty, and it's going to hurt a little bit.
And when things aren't going well, they don't give up. They
don't care.
They don't care.
They don't look like they care at all.
And then they have their reset moment, and they're back the next game, and it's something different. And I think that's what we can count on in this series.
All right, got a couple of minutes left. So looking ahead, any interesting albums that are hotly anticipated? Any big things coming?
A lot of announcements. Obviously, the Adele record is a lot of people are talking about that. Not just industry, but and that is such a mass appeal record that's going to be huge. And let me tell you this, it reinstates my favorite record store joke. As anybody walks to the record, new album by Adele, I could say, dude, you're getting Adele.
Wow. All right, so I think it just announced today that she live shows. I think she's doing 2 days at the big park, the Hyde Park, I think, or something, whatever.
Yeah,
2
yeah.
days
Big
at
park.
what's the Oasis documentary that they just released when they played whatever that huge, like 200,000 people came, something crazy, whatever. Anyways. Wrapping it up, man. That was what we're saying goodbye, and go Astros, and we will see you, depending on what the series is doing, one day next week. We'll let you know. Say goodbye, Quinn. See you later.
Goodbye, Quinn. All right.